Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to Talking Shit. It's your boy, the Sophisticated Jerk. Got M3 in here, Stan, and Wally. So before we jump into topics, man, how's everybody doing, man?
Man, these streets are quiet since Trump got in the office. I'm like, man, is something happened? Go outside.
Wait, you talking about the real streets, right? Or
yeah,
the
it's
YouTube?
like nobody's outside. Nobody's like, people just getting their coffee and go. Nobody making eye contact. No good morning. It's like almost a ghost time. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, what happened?
We're gonna talk about that. That's gonna be our ending, our closing topic about the presidential race. What happened with why did Kamala lose? We're gonna break it down a little bit and we're gonna discuss that because I've been noticing people are being a little more friendly with each other. So maybe this is the beginning phase, man. Everybody's just like, okay, we burnt out with that. We got out our system. We hit the booth. Let's move on and stuff. So
no, I think it's the beginning of something else.
they're big mad, but they're just big mad in the most like silent way. So
yeah, I definitely we're gonna touch up on that. So all right, let me
well, where you at, Wally House, Miami? Because being that y'all voted him in, how are you safe? Oh, they kidnapped Wally. Damn it!
No, Wally's in the bunker sure hiding out though. But
ladies, let him loose. We need him for this first segment.
Wally said he chilling out. But all right, let me go ahead for the first topic that we're gonna break down today, man. Recently, Chad Ochocinco and Sherelle Rosado, broke up. I think they was about to get married and stuff like that. But they had to break up in a public display and stuff like that. And so we got a couple of videos.
What was that? She made it public.
But I mean, they're both like on social media, like they have to announce the whole relationship.
No, she announced it.
No, but I'm just saying, like, they always put all their business out there. So she probably did the breakup first, but they both like always relationships always in the public eye.
She treated him like a bee in the each. That's what she did. She like, come and get him. He's single. Like, dang, he's for sale. What?
I mean, he's like a piece of meat to her. So I mean, she's selling the meat to him, to the girl.
But he's kind of a sucker, though, man. That's why
he believes in love.
Nah, he's. And I got the article that you sent me, Stan, that has like his past relationships. But the first clip I want to show is the one where she was on Humble Baddies and she was kind of discussing how they met and got into the relationship because she cheated on her ex-husband with Chad Ochocinco. So this kind of sets the stage for it of like, this is why I said he's kind of a sucker. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick.
That's her? Oh, no, that's someone else.
Nah, there's like 3 females on this podcast, so she'll be coming up. So give me 1 second. Let me play. Let me know if y'all.
I don't think anyone agrees with it.
Yeah.
I've been in a place where I've been cheated on, and I've been in a place where I had the tit for tat and said fuck it, and I'm gonna.
That's a good
give it to you. So
interesting, Sherelle.
Did you do it?
So real quick, tit for tat means I was fucking. So, sometimes people use jargon and stuff. They don't want to just go to the point and say it like tit for tat. She says she's cheated on her ex and she was getting her back blown out. So I just wanted to.
She said, but catch that, right? She said, I've been cheated on. I do tit for tat. But are you doing tit for tat on suspicion of cheating, which therefore free you from cheating? Because if that person didn't cheat and you thought that he cheated, then you justify yourself cheating.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Mm-hmm. So either way, it's just bad. Because, I hear people say, oh, I got back at him. And it's just like, so, man, you lower your value. Just why you could just leave the relationship and you don't have to be a statistic out here and shit. So when people say the tit for tat, it's just like, man, that's what your mind goes to. So. Yeah, but this was recent when she did the tit for tat. That's what I'm saying. This is why I would set the stage on it. But let me get back to the video. But I agree with you, Stan. Yeah, because like some people use that as an excuse. Oh, I thought he was cheating. It's like, man, you just wanted to jump out there. Stop playing. You just wanted to hook up with somebody.
Just giving out a lot of unnecessary energy, but yeah.
But you see how she was clear with the word. I'm glad you caught that, Stan, where she was like, well, he cheated and I did the tit for tat. She didn't want to say I cheated back. So that's why I was saying she tried to use tit for tat on her, but she was clear with like cheating on when she was referring to him. So she was on that bullshit. I don't want to just point that out.
It because strictly you just wanted to get back at him, or you really just wanted to have sex with somebody else? Like,
no, I felt like I had enough. I was at the end of I had enough.
But have you ever, in any of your relationships, have you ever just wanted to like be with somebody else? Like you're in a relationship, you love this person you're in a relationship with, but you want to dip your toe in somebody else.
Us as women, our answer will be different because we are emotional creatures. And I feel like, you know, when I was younger, I used to have the tit for tat mentality. And
when you were younger,
I cheated on my ex-husband with Chad.
Really?
I wouldn't say cheat because I mentally checked out.
I understand. So you were almost.
So she didn't cheat because her excuse was she mentally checked out. So
while she was married.
While she was married.
Yep.
So is that a solid excuse for her, that she mentally checked out? So it's not really cheating. Do y'all agree with that?
Yeah, what she's trying to say is like, because of the actions and the errors of her ex-husband's ways, he pretty much forced her to mentally check out, which justifies her actions of cheating on him with someone that's of higher status and more financial wealth than her ex-husband. So that's just the logic of some people's thinking. So,
you know what you just did, M3?
What?
You just went ahead and outlined the top 20 rom-com movies.
You said he spent out Lifetime.
No, not Lifetime. These are the ones that made it to movie theaters, because the majority of them, they were all in a relationship and they didn't feel like it was worth it, and they met another guy, and it's not cheating because the relationship is already dead, and they met somebody they could love, and they just want to sit down and start that new relationship because the previous relationship, it was just horrible, and he don't understand me, and I don't know.
He was verbally abusive. Don't forget that.
Yes, and he was emotionally abusive, verbally abusive, and he was always by himself. And I find somebody else, and it's not cheating. Because when you look at the majority, not Hallmark, but majority of these other movies that's out there, they were still married, or they were in a committed relationship, and they did cheat, or they enticed the guy to cheat to start their own relationship.
But in their mind, they're always going to be like, well, I already divorced him in my mind. So technically.
That's facts.
Lord.
I like her, and I think she feels a little bit of justified too, because it's just like, hey, I was about to marry, I'm with Chad now, so we're good. So in her mind, she's like, I checked out of that one. I got with Chad and stuff, but it's still fucked up nonetheless. But she's definitely trying to wordplay it where it don't sound as bad. But let me get back to the video.
Part, right? Wait, real quick. The crazy part, right? She had 3 kids with him, with the other guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, when you checked out, did you check out because you let Chad in with the flirtation, and he was buying a house from you, and you guys were doing the lunch dates, and already had the fantasies about being with Chad, and y'all went ahead and y'all worked doing lunch, and then after that you saw his body, and after that you didn't care so much about what was going on at home, sending the daughters to your mother's house or to your sister's house, and allowing your husband or pushing him away, which therefore he's going back to his side bitches because you're rejecting him, which also justify you to go ahead and have your first night with Chad Ochocinco. So then that night of pleasure, which heightened everything, which made you think, okay, I'm ready to leave my husband, and it's justifiable because I know he already cheated, although I kind of push him that way so I could go ahead and not cheat.
Yeah, I agree with you, Stan, because typically, man, you don't just meet somebody one day and be like, hey, man, let's hook up. So there's definitely like an emotional buildup, especially for women. So yeah, she definitely like you said, there were some interactions, and then probably in a lot of cases, I see people that, I'm not saying I don't know their whole story, but it's just like they go home and start shit, you know, because they do want to move on to that next person. So instead of them just like being a big person, like, hey, I'm just not sexually attracted to you or attracted to you like that. I want to get with this other person. Let me just split it down the middle and I could, you know, take the accountability because I'm the one I want to exit off. It's almost like I'm going to put the onus on them. Oh, I mentally checked out. I moved on, but it's like, nah, you was flirting with homie. You know, y'all was having some interactions because you didn't just have this buildup and then all of a sudden you met him and then y'all got together. It's like typically there's like you said, some playful banner and shit like that. So that was good point. But it cracks me up too, where, you know, as a parent, sometimes it's just like, man, you don't want to, you got kids too. So it's just like, man, you're on social media letting people know like, hey, I did this to your father. You know, I took these actions. So it's like nobody ever thinks about the kids somewhat. It's just like, man, you can have a clean cut divorce and then, you know, get out there and do what you want to. But it's just like, she's all about self. You know, a lot of these people.
Here's this. If mommy's not happy, we're all not happy.
Oh, okay, shit.
So I can be a better mommy. So your daddy been cheating and we still love you and we'll co-parent. That co-parent stuff be killing me. We'll co-parent.
Yeah, I got you heated the other day, man. The co-parenting. Don't get triggered.
This, but but you know that co-parenting stuff, they'll do that and try to like mimic that they still together. But it's all like you need happiness, and it's always like whatever. It doesn't matter about your happiness. I ain't sacrificing that because my happiness has to come in priority. And you're here to make mommy happy, and let's just make sure that we keep this up because you're not ruining my relationship with Chad Ochocinco.
So you said she saw the dollar sign. She was like, look, you little bastards better get y'all weather together.
Oh, no, she makes money. Oh, no, she makes some money because she's like the real estate of Tampa. She's on another reality.
Oh, okay. But I'm saying still, like, he's got like...
before.
He's got like, he's giving her options. Like you said, she getting bread, but with that influx of cash, she's like, shit, you know, and probably want to be that power couple type thing. So, all right, let me get back to the video real quick.
Done with that relationship.
I was done.
So you were
I
done
was
with
mentally
that
checked out. And I grew an emotional attach. So it was like, I was already sexually, physically attracted to him. So it just made it even better.
But see, that doesn't feel like tit for tat. It just feels like you was done and somebody else caught your attention.
But at the age I'm at now,
Man, shut up. Homegirl's a writer.
You were cheating. You were cheating.
Wait, what you say?
But that chick, hold on. Let me go back and get a. She's a writer, man. Like, homegirl, man, get you a thought on the team that would justify your bullshit, man. Like, that's what what's her name was doing. She's like, yo, man, let me get so and so on this podcast. She was like just feeding her an excuse. Nah, that's not really tit for tat. That's you were mentally checked out. Man, what kind of bullshit?
Still married.
Yeah. Fuck that poor guy. But it's just like, yeah, she damn near feeding her excuse. Like, nah, man, that's cheating. God damn it.
Irregardless of what your partner does not justify for you to do it because you're both married. Just go ahead and give him divorce. If you know he cheats,
yeah.
Okay, that's it. Just get the paper. You don't have to do that anymore. Irrecyclable. We call it something. The marriage is
irrecyclable. Yeah, I'll be fucking that word up.
Don't explain to you, judge, and that's it. But to do all this stuff, and then for your homegirls to go in like, yeah, you check out. Now, can we imagine if there was us three sitting on here, and we're like, you know what? M3 SJ, I wasn't feeling her. It was just like I just stopped and I met this other girl and she went ahead and we just worked out a little bit and she been feeding me lunch and dinner and you know, I almost slept over. I did like Netflix and slept on her lap and you know, got a little intense, but I kept my composure and my wife is just bothering me. She's just annoying me to death. Damn it. But like, you know, it's not.
Oh, they'll be like, it doesn't matter. You're not a man. You should have been man enough and told her that you was that it would have got all that smoke.
but I haven't slept with my wife in 2 years, and we're not intimate. And
They'll tell you it don't matter. They're like, you need to man up, and you should have went face to face and just broke it off. God damn it. So yeah, that's the advice she should be getting at this moment. Like, hey, you're a piece of shit. You should have just womaned up and broke it off. We want to hear that like you was emotionally detached or whatever the nonsense she was saying.
how about you, M3? What you say?
I don't know. I get back to me later on that one.
If it was me, I'm in the hot seat. I'm telling you that I'm cheating.
You say that you're cheating?
I'm not cheating. I just met someone. I'm not cheating. I just checked out.
I would just say, like, you know, like you're exercising your options. I mean,
so you'd be like, whole girl in the video. You could be like, look, you look player. You ain't cheating. Listen, you done leveled up. You got options out here, son. You need to test all the. You in Baskin Robbins. You better get a scoop of every goddamn flavor.
I mean, if you was already in a committed relationship at one point, and you know, I'm like, hey, homie, you deserve it, right? You can't look. You got
Shout out to
all
M3.
the fishes in the sea, right? That you could capture. You know,
so M3, homegirl that's on the screen, you're like her thought equivalent. That's.
Hey, I'm like, look, man, life is like Pokemon. You got to catch them all. Stan will disagree,
but did y'all catch that part though? She did kind of admit, like, hey, I was sexually attracted.
Yeah.
So it's just like, typically you'll be like, I was attracted to him if he wasn't doing something. Nah, he was blowing that back out. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. She ain't shit.
She gave 2. She said emotionally attracted to him and sexually attracted to him.
Well, I'm glad she didn't use no religious term talking about I'm spiritually attracted to him. I would just be like,
yeah. All right, let me get back to the video.
Wally, though. Like,
caught your attention.
But at the age I'm
Wally.
Yeah.
So what's your take on that so far? My bad, man.
No, y'all good. I mean, y'all pretty much called it out.
You think she capping on how she trying to like flip it on a guy? Like it was like.
I mean, there ain't no excuses. I mean, even if you were done, okay, then call it quits. Just call it quits. Just let it be known. Call it quits. I just want to do backdoor stuff and just pop the trigger. Like, okay, just call it quits. Everyone likes to do backdoors and then make an excuse for their backdoor complaints. Like, oh yeah, I went to the back door and I made a move. Versus just leaving out the front door and just be like, yeah, I'm leaving. It's just that simple.
Yeah, I agree with you.
As you enter, the same way as you leave. Just do that.
Nah, facts. All right, let me get on this video again.
I'm at now. I felt like it was wrong because I should have ended that relationship fully.
Okay.
Yeah,
I agree.
I was younger, and at that time, I was focused on myself and trying to get over everything that I went through.
Okay.
And if I would go back, I probably wouldn't have did what I did, but it happened. I can't go back and change it.
Does that affect your relationship now?
With us?
Yeah.
Of course.
So do you feel like Chad may not trust you as much because he knows you was with another?
I wouldn't say it doesn't affect Chad and our relationship because I told him the reason why I did what I did. But it does affect my ex-husband and our relationship. We do have a child together, and
so we are co-parenting.
It does affect a lot. We don't communicate at all.
Yeah.
I bought my son the phone.
Stan, don't flip out, Stan.
But it's hard to really explain to him because as a man, their pride is very hard. It's like,
I understand.
You basically, I took care of things you should have, but they don't see what they do. They just look at what you do.
Okay, there goes accountability out the window.
And you're the worst person ever.
Yeah.
The accountability's been went out
They can't.
Well, she was almost like, yeah, but it is like, okay, I got to put it back on him. Fuck that. This is uncomfortable for me.
Man, it was already bad when she said, when I was young. No, you was having babies. You knew full well. You went because you young. You know better. You knew. and you put the blame on everybody else that cheated on you, which is understandable because you didn't have no therapy, you did not go to therapy. That's what happens. And then we move on to somebody else that looks like the ex. We think that we setting ourselves free, but we falling ourselves right into the same cycles.
Stan, you know, Sophisticated Drake is not an advocate for therapy, right? You don't believe in that?
But some people need it. Obviously, she does.
No, what she needs is a religious exorcism. You know what I mean?
No.
You know,
I do believe there's some people that need therapy. Like, man, you got like imbalances, but I think a lot of times people just like overplay it. They just want to go do some wrong deeds and then they hide behind therapy. Like, let me go there. It's
But
like, man,
that's
you know
a
what the hell you doing? And you, huh?
No, but that's a narcissist that'll do it because, like, you jump from one relationship to another relationship to another relationship. People like that, you gotta like, hey, I don't think we should be dating. You need to talk this through because what's going on that you're not really repairing things from like your previous relationship. It's like when people exchange their car for another car and go ahead and change it for another car for a new model. But like that loan that you got for the first car is compounded. It didn't end. It's added to, and now you 5 cars in, and then you're wondering why your loan is like almost $100,000. It was not,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? It compounds. So you really do need to talk to somebody about what's going on. I'm not talking about a psychiatrist or somebody give you medication, right? But you do need somebody who's not into your life, who's not like that girl in the middle that's going to sit down and say, yeah, girl, it was all good, girl. It was on him. No.
You talk about M3's female clone. But let me ask y'all a question. So, like, hearing that story play out, do y'all think, like, you know, because like a lot of guys will sit there, they'll get with the girl that cheated on her husband, and you know, sometimes guys like, oh, you know, I pulled her from her husband. Do you think that's dumb for like guys to take a woman that did cheat on her husband to get with him like that? Because you know, like the saying is like, man, hey, how you kind of enter a relationship, that person, what they did, it's gonna end the same way for you and stuff. So do you think like he was dumb for getting involved with her?
Chad doing that?
Yeah, Chad getting with her, like under that pretense, like, man, you cheated on your husband, like, damn that, you know.
Yeah, I think any man, like not just with him, excuse me, not just with him, but like if like let's say for instance, if I had somebody, a girlfriend or whatever, or one of my booty clapping women or whatever, cheat on me with someone else, and then I take her back, I'm getting mixed up. If I pick up with somebody that's a cheater, I'm gonna be the fool. You know what I mean? And try to wife her up or try to be in a relationship with her. Like I know the routine of it. Once a person leaves their significant other, right, to be with someone else or even to be with me, right? I know for sure I can't really take her seriously, but I would just give like a moment of time, like before like I get my own personal rocks off or whatever, before like the relationship ends.
You said
I
you're
just
gonna
know
bust it
like,
down for him.
it's not gonna go well for me to try to be in a serious relationship, but at the same time, it's still okay, like, you know, to still capture her or whatever. Well, not capture her, but you know, put her in the roster. Because again, my method's like Pokemon Stan. Okay.
I wanna be the very best, the best I ever was.
So Wally, you think he's dumb for like you know, if somebody cheats, do you think like that's a red flag? Or like, yeah, I can't take this person too serious, even if it's with me, you know?
I mean, for Chad, it's just honestly just very stupid. It's like, even if she breaks down the story, like, oh, you know, she breaks it down and she says, like, I know I made a mistake and I know I did some wrong things and I shouldn't have played it out like that. And I think maybe that's in his head, like, okay, she's at least honest about why she did what she did and how she's looking at it. So at least I can somewhat deal with her because she's just being a little bit straightforward with it. But even then, it's like, if those are the choices you're making, like straight off the hip, then it's like, no, I can't rock with you because let's be real here. Let one thing happen between us.
Yeah.
And And then what's worse is like right before like y'all closed out the video, it's like she's saying like, oh, but you know how like these men are, you know, they ego get hurt and everything. They want it. But I'm like, wait, but here's the thing though. You never had a one-on-one talk with him about what was going on and why you feel the way you feel. So how the hell you want him to see what he was doing when you not telling what's going on? So he can't see it and you don't say what's going on, right?
She's an ineffective communicator.
So my thing is, people always like to sit here and say the number one problem is communication, but you didn't communicate how you feel about what was going on and transpiring in your relationship.
Damn, that's a good
to make him actually visually see what was going on and be like, damn, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You know, I was doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You know, I'm sorry. You can't expect people to just magically understand that they did wrong if you don't address it.
Yeah.
Well, as much as I would like to agree with you, the only thing is that in society, like it's always going to be our fault. Her ex was supposed to be a perfect man.
I don't get a rash. Look,
I know you're young, right? But you gotta understand, right?
He was supposed to read her mind and shit.
Exactly. Reading is fundamental, man. Like, you know, if you don't read it, I'm telling you, man. See, that's why we gotta educate our people, man. Look, the importance of reading people.
You got to read.
I can read body language. Look here, people can sit here and say, "Oh, you got to read body language every single damn day." I'm gonna still tell you this. You want to talk about reading body language? Read minds. What does it say?
That's reading lips, but okay.
Hey, before I get back to this next video,
I'm gonna let you know why I'm saying read lips too. Because at the end of the day, I want to hear that whole you got to read body language because you can say it on the same end. Read men's body language. What they tell you. Most women don't even figure that out. So what the frick you talking about? Get out of here.
So Stan, do you think he was stupid for like moving forward with her, even though he was the one she cheated with?
I like Chad Ochocinco. On this one, he disappointed me. He's a bottom feeder.
Damn.
What you mean by that?
Yeah,
she was married. She was married.
Okay.
She was married, and you made your move on a married woman. No matter what's going on in that relationship, you should like let them figure that out. You Chad Ochocinco is not hungry for no coochie. They are throwing stuff at him. I mean, when they find his tapes and his videos, he's gonna be like that dude in Africa. He's the American version of it. 500 different women on his roster on videos, and they're gonna set it on Telegram. But Chad Ochocinco, like, she was married. And the sad part of it, I think he was also an athlete, right? The thing about like when you go around sleeping with people in these smaller circles, do you think people gonna trust you after this?
Yeah.
No.
I don't even think he cared about that. But
of course not, because he's gonna be in love and he's saying he's in love and he promised to marry her and everything else. He always be promising that he's gonna marry them. His list is like long. But he never really married them, and it's only puppy love, and he just horny, and he just won a little trophy run around his house. At the end of the day, though, you slept with a married woman, and you pulled her from her husband. For people who are in a relationship, when they're looking at you, they're going to keep their wives away from you, because guess what? You have no morals. You have no bro code.
Well, wait a minute. Real quick, though. Did he knew that she was still married, or neither that was after the fact?
Yeah, he knew.
No, he knew.
But see, that's where I
sold my house.
Yeah, that's why I say, like, man, I give him pushback, and I think he's a sucker because, man, it seemed like like you was telling me, Stan, he got a prototype, and it's just like, man, I think a lot of guys put their ego and stuff. They're like, oh, I pulled her from her, and it's just like, I forgot who. I think M3 was pointing out. It's like, man, if she did that to you, and even Wally was like, if she did that to that guy, man, and she's like detaches, man, she gonna do it to you, and maybe not that same form or fashion, but it shows like she has those ups and downs, and man, that's what guys just their ego gets in the way, and it's just like, oh, I pulled her, you know, that type of shit. But instead of looking at it like that, she don't got no type of commitment. She got kids with that dude. Like, I'm dodging that. Oh, go ahead, Bree.
This is why, look, message. This is why you keep certain women as your work wives only. Okay. Again, like this, based off of like, true stories and experiences, like you do not, and again, you do not want to wife up or be in a relationship with a woman that has a track record of leaving one good man to be with a dusty dude or whatever, right? That got more money, even while still flirting with you. Okay, I'm not putting myself in the equation, but I'm just putting it out there. But look. Anyways, though, Chad, man, yeah, I agree with you, man. Like, as an athlete, man, as a person that already has money and already has your stuff in life like together, and even if you don't have like Chad Ochocinco's money, bro, like, there's plenty of other women that you could really talk to.
In Florida,
genuine, but he wants the toxicity. Huh?
But in Florida, they all look the same. They all look the same in Florida.
Yeah. So then why pick someone that's already married? I don't know. It just didn't make sense. And spoiler alert, right? I mean, he's trying to get her back. So,
oh, okay.
He been out there begging. So
yeah, he should have kept her in side chick status, like you said in 3. Like, let me go ahead and put that clip.
Realtor. He probably got a new realtor that looked like her.
Yeah, because all his chicks follow that prototype. We're gonna go over that after we watch a little bit of this video. So let me go ahead and play this.
I promise I ain't gonna cry.
Shout out to MVP for this video.
You lie.
Really, but it cuss me out. We got that hair real.
Hey. Yeah. Damn.
Hey, you better. It looked like you stayed in a dungeon or a basement or something, but you better get your.
I'm in Houston. Right? I came to a day party at what's it called again? At Chapman and Kirby.
Hey, I'd have been on what you call. I'd have been on flight back trying to fix that.
Oh, I can't because I don't know. I'm just saying I'm blocked. I don't know what to do.
Look here, that's one thing about you, Ocho. You a wise man. The one thing I know about men, they can.
And you know what? You know what I can't do though, and I can talk to you and chat. Like remember how you say if you live publicly, if you live it publicly, you break up publicly. Yeah, so it's okay. See, I can deal with that though. I can deal with that. The stove.
Take it offline.
Hey, the stove is hot, bro. So I don't.
I can imagine. The
stove is hot.
All I'm saying is, did she say don't call her no more?
No.
Okay, you good. Because anytime a woman tell me don't call, don't worry about it. Block, erase the number. Oh no, you'll never get me for stalking. Nah. Look, at the end of the day, it's 2 adults. Y'all both grown. You can get into a room, you can figure it out if that's what the both of y'all want. So I'm gonna let y'all handle that. Hey. I think the world of both of y'all, but y'all can.
Why don't you do me a favor?
What?
Why don't you be the moderator? You laughing? Cause hey, that ain't funny, man. What? That hurt? What?
Yes, but here's the thing, Ocho. Here's the thing. Give it a day or two. Let her calm down. It's fresh. It's really fresh now. But you need to stay offline. Both of y'all need to stay offline.
All I do is tweet normal. I tweet football. That's it.
Both of you stay offline. And next time, if this thing is to be repaired, keep it offline. Y'all don't have to be so public. Me.
Yeah. Yeah, you ain't have to be so public, and you might be watching.
Shut up, Chad.
Yeah.
She's nervous because she can hear her cursing.
Right. What you do?
Hey, via text message at mine.
Right.
Well, that just gives y'all a little gist of like I said, they had a string of like breakups and stuff. It was like public. And that's what I'm saying. Let me find up the article that you sent me, Stan.
I bet you they broke up because there's no dates for the wedding. That's 1. They just had a baby together. That's 2. So this is her 4th child. This is his 8th.
Damn.
Wait, Okay, fourth child, his eighth. He had a
Yeah.
kid. Wait, how many kids they had by her?
They just had a one. Yeah, they just
Oh,
had
it's the only one.
just one.
You that quick to bro? Damn.
Right. So when like there's no date plan, and then you left her alone with that one child to go to Houston so you can go fuck. You like, I don't know if the baby's a newborn or like a toddler, but you don't get to leave Florida to go to Houston. I don't care who the fuck you are. Like you have your podcast at your house.
Yeah, nah, they do definitely doing too much, man. That's the issue, man. They both do seem toxic. Hold on, let me play one more before I go into that article.
But she started because she's the one like, hey ladies, he's free now. Like, hope you don't catch nothing. Like, come on now.
Oh yeah, but I mean that's what I'm saying. They both love the like public eye, man. That's what I'm saying.
He was seen encouraging her. This pattern hints at a sudden breakup. They became engaged on January 2023 after what initially appeared to be a whirlwind romance, and they share a 2-year-old daughter named Serenity. Chad is a father where he was seen encouraging her. This pattern hints at a sudden.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got together recently. So when she was describing a relationship, she was making it seem like it was like when she was like super young and stuff.
The trainer, I get it now because it's Florida. He got locks and a beard.
So you think she's cheating on him like for the trainer now, Stan?
Probably shit.
I mean, your fiance is Chad Ochocinco. You don't need to have a trainer, but you went ahead and you purchased sometimes with a trainer, and you got a trainer that's like look nothing like your husband, taller than your husband, and he got locks and a beard.
But real quick, here's her dating history. So like you were saying, Stan, he got a pattern. So Evelyn Lozadia, she's been with like numerous. Was she with Safari or something like that?
No, she was with that guy. Was it Carmelo? Wasn't the basketball player?
She's been with quite a few people
For 10 years, and then when he lost all his money, she
played for the Celtics, Anton Walker.
Anton Walker, yes.
Then I know, so they had that marriage, and I know that's where he Ochocinco headbutted her or something like that.
Supposedly, because then she got Ayana Fix My Life, but then she went ahead, used that to find a baseball player and gave birth to the son, and then and got her other check.
Okay. So let me go down here. So yeah, they got her. What's her name? Sherelle Rosado. Then Maya. So those were the ones he was engaged to. He was married to what's her name? Evelyn. So yeah, they got them listed out down here. So they don't got pictures for Crystal Barbie Bates, Kimberly Yeoman, but they got K Michelle, Lauren, Amber. Where the hell was Amber from? Shit. There go Evelyn right there. Tammy Torres. Tiana. Damn, we got Tiana Taylor too. She said Maya. Damn, he had Trina in 2005. Corinne Olympios. So Chad be out here. Chad got some. Chad ain't messing around. So yeah, he got a history of them.
And that's just the celebrities. We don't know about the regulars. But yeah, man, it's like, yo, you got a toddler. Why are you in Houston?
Yeah. But it's just crazy how like reckless they be with it, man. You know, after a while, man, and people just how much overlap it is. Because yeah, I remember Evelyn was like one of the other reviews that we did. I'm just like, damn, but y'all just keep dating the same people, and it's like, man, you know they are toxic. So it's just like, man, yeah, he crazy.
And he's in Florida. I want people to know, don't feel no sympathy. He's in Florida. Those women are a dime a dozen. They look like this. They look like Naomi Campbell. That's a dime a dozen look. That's a dime a dozen look.
Yeah, they got a lot down there. So
and he could have found with no kids, no attitude, not into nightlife, none of that, and that's it. Not trying to be no reality star, none of it. Like there's no excuse for him to constantly get these same type of women. Like he's trying to change their life and make them domesticated.
Yeah, it's his ego, man. That's why I said I think it's his ego. But all right, man, we'll go ahead. Let's jump into the next topic because it's somewhat related, but it's on the tonight's conversation. Recently, what's his name? Newt Cooley from No Fugazi was on there, and he was breaking down what a top tier man is. So he gave his definition, and the female, gave him some pushback, like, "Hey, nah, this is what I think a top tier man is." So I'm gonna play the clip, and y'all let me know, like, if y'all kind of agree with the definition he gave, or you agree with the pushback that she gave. So give me a second.
Modern day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
Do you believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4", only about 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100.
The women today.
So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, no, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math.
Hold on, before we go, what's your math saying?
The conversation and the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone like you, I would never consider top tier. A top tier man is also a man that is extremely desirable by way of his character. A top tier man is a man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. A top tier man, they lead with love, not with dictatorship, right? They don't want to control their woman. They want to gently lead their woman. A top tier man creates space for a woman to feel good about herself. A top tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top tier man prioritizes a woman. A top tier man is in leadership and working as hard as he is to give the woman the life of her dream.
Oh, shit.
And with
But I
all that
digress.
stuff that you just said, that was just womanese talk.
Womanese is also 6'4", black, attractive. I don't know too many women in my circle who desire a 6'4" man still wearing braids.
Yeah, braids look down upon these days. Lord have mercy.
It's kind of crazy. Somebody braids when it's actually his hair and you got a wig on installed. But I'll leave that alone.
At least
you did pay for it, and it's yours though.
So was his definition on point, or do you think he missed some stuff as far as his?
Ironic that she's talking about character, and they don't care about no character because we've been on these panels before. What they really want is money and like complete devotion, and for you to worship them like their God. And then when they talk about that spiritual aspect of it, do you not realize that God said that there's no other gods before Him, and there might be a chance you're going to be struck down to a pillar of salt, but I'll leave that up to you, good ladies, to go ahead and move the goalposts. You're never happy, you're never satisfied, and guess what? The men are completely checked out, and they're going out to find their own fulfillment in life, and they're going to be okay.
Yeah, well said. I'm just going to say it like this, right? Every woman wants this higher tier type of man, but in stipulations to be very submissive and worship them. And that's the key component that always going to keep them miserable, because there's a little thing that's called reality. And reality sets in and it bursts like the Disney fantasized like type of mindset that these women be carrying. Like, look, you can't have your cake and ice cream eat it at the same time. Well, I'm talking about for relationships as a woman, you want the top tier man to act like a submissive beta. That's not going to happen. A man that already has and knows his self-worth. I mean, look, I'm going to put it like this. You could find a man that is financially that's well put together, but he has to have the mindset of Chad Ochocinco, which he believes that he can't get no one else better than the person that he's currently with. So you can find those type of men, but if you're not satisfied with that level and you're looking for someone that's a little bit more assertive, someone that supposedly is going to put you in your place, you're not going to find that type of guy because you're not going to be happy.
Man, she was cooking when she started off with the character stuff a little bit.
You actually
When
believe her?
Huh?
You believe her?
No, I'm just saying if she was just giving a general definition, like it's not about believing. I'm just saying like what she was saying. But when she started getting to the point where she was like, a leader prioritizes women, I was like, she don't know shit about a leader or a top tier man.
She showed her true skin color after that.
Oh yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. You got to just let people talk sometimes. So yeah, it was a lot of word salad, a lot of wordplay, but it's just like, a leader prioritizes the mission or the job, whatever. And then she said, gives her the life that she deserves or dreams about. And that's what I'm saying, man. When they talk, it's always like self-centered. It's like, man, he ain't trying to give you the life that you dream about. It's like what y'all need at that current time. So yeah, it's just, I think Cooley, he left out the character aspect because, he just focused on like the aesthetics part.
Yeah.
Where it's just like men, there's other stuff that men bring to the table. So it's like you're well-rounded. You're not just leaning on just like physical attributes and shit, and money. But I mean, like y'all said, it's just like a lot of times people do go for attraction. As much as they don't want to say it, they dance around it and stuff like that. It's like people there's a level of attraction and stuff. But yeah, when she took it to those points, like I said, it prioritizes the woman and gives them the life that they dream about. That's where she lost it. And it's not to say like, men ain't gonna treat women nice, but it's just like, if you're a self-centered person, nobody should be sitting there prioritizing you because you're just going to derail everything. You're not going to hit success. Nah, I mean, we see it happen all the time where it's somebody that's like, they need constant attention. It's just like, man, they derail success. So it's just like, but if you're a true leader, you ignore that shit.
But yeah, you're supposed to give her the environment so she can flourish and grow and fly off to her destiny.
Yeah, that's why I disagree with a lot of people. I definitely think like you support people, but it's just like, man, you're a whole ass adult. Like, I don't know this whole thing where like adults are supposed to level up other adults. That's why I tell dudes like dodge broke chicks. Like, get somebody that's like mentally healthy. Get somebody that's already like in that path where you don't got to sit there and treat them like a dependent, man. That's dependency right there. What she's talking about. You a kid at that point. What the fuck I need a kid for? Like, there's women out there that got their shit together. That's why I was like, man, somebody that's talking like that, like you said, I got to create a then shit. Wally, what's your take on there? Do you agree with her definition?
So from both sides of the standpoint, Cooley, he was pretty much talking the standard ideology of all that other shit. I mean, it's funny how he came and talked about womanese, but it's like, ain't you speaking from the womanese standpoint of what they want? So I was like, yeah, no, you just throw yourself a loop right there. As far as the woman, I like what she was saying, but it was like pretty much the same things. Like towards the end part, I'm like, that's not how that goes.
Yeah. Like, that ain't leadership. That's simping. That's what she was like talking about. She wasn't talking about no goddamn leadership.
I mean, you want to talk about, oh, he's gonna give you what you deserve. I'm like, sweetheart, you earn everything you get in life. Go out there and go earn it.
Oh, that sounds like accountability and the process, discipline. Wally,
you don't get nowhere without earning shit.
Wally, don't you know
you can't get it by someone giving it to you? Because the way you get it, you can also get it stripped away.
But Wally, we exist for their pleasure and their needs.
Yeah, that's what she flipped it to. Because at first I was like, okay, damn, she's cooking. But when she got to that last part, I'm like, powered.
Yeah,
we live to serve each other. That's the balance. The hell?
No, we live to serve women.
No, Stan got like a point.
See, and this is why I say I'm planning on being single. Fuck all that.
What was you saying, M3?
Let me say this, right? We're living in an anti-Christ type of society now, right? Because be in existence from our ribs, right, to serve us, to be our helpmate, right? Not, the Bible even call them servants. It's just helpmates, right? But now these days, since women are now anti-Christ and reversing these roles and all that, we have become the purpose to be their servants. I mean, to the eyes of a woman, they don't find any value of us but to be the best service. Look, unfortunately, the simps really ruined the United States of America. And maybe I might have to go out of the country for a little bit and find my helpmate.
He said,
a lot of helpmates around the globe. But
Are
but
you
yeah,
gonna bring her back to the United States?
I still got my life in the United States though. It's just that either two things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you do the long distance, right? You build a relationship, and then you have a whole bunch of kids, globally, right? But you do it virtually, right? I don't worry about no child support, right? Anyways, right? But or
you got something to worry about, all right? It's called Playboy number 1.
This is where I try to build my legacy, throughout different countries. All right, so I'm gonna create a bunch of passport brothers, and one day they're gonna come back to me in the United States when they get 18 and over, right? But that ain't the case, right? The main point is that you want to find somebody, right, that's actually traditionally going to hold you down without you living to the United States standards of modern day living, where you always got to constantly improve on yourself just for the woman, just to be the best version of yourself, just to be the best servant for her. So it's a horrible expectation that they have, but unfortunately, it's what it is.
See, here's my only thing to what M3 was saying earlier, right? About the whole serving, right? And Beta's over here just made it worse because of the serving and everything else like that. Let's just get one thing clear. Serving is universal on both ends of the stick.
Yeah.
And I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say. Serving's on both ends of the stick. You can't get service from me if you do not serve on one end of the stick on my end too. If there's a trade-off. If I serve you on one thing, you gotta serve me on another.
You're not a real man. That's transactional.
No, I'm with Wally. Goddamn, that's reciprocation. Goddamn it.
Transactional. That's not you're supposed to do.
What's that?
You're being transactional. That's not a real man.
Nah, shit. That's the problem.
Well, actually, mine is transactional, but unfortunately, the way how they look at it, it's their transactions that you serve them, and they give you little to nothing, and people made it okay.
And you see why nowadays these men are talking about I'm standing alone. Freak this shit.
Yeah, because the issue, what she was describing towards the end, it was just oriented around her. It wasn't let's build together. Let's create this environment with each other. Like I said, it's like a dependency, and that's how man, that's the sad thing because I do, like I said, I'm around a lot of women that contribute to the households and doing stuff still feminine, and I'm it's almost like a lot of the females like her. It's man, you're making a case you sound like a child, man. Real talk. It is just it's man, you're supposed to be an adult, man. When do people stop becoming adults? And man, you get yourself together and you get somebody that has their stuff together, and it's man, y'all can build with each other. This is how you beat the learning curve and shit. This is how you beat debt, inflation, and all that other shit. But when they so selfish, it's it turns into them only.
Well, but we're supposed to provide that safe place for them to develop and learn and grow.
Man, you living in America.
When have they provided their own safe place for them to grow? The hell we talking? Man, look.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's why she knew she was just doing word salad at that point. It sounded good till the end, and then her true, color started coming out. But yeah, Cooley, he's got to put some more substance around his definition because he just sounded kind of like a meathead. Whereas it's
that's the whole point, because to her point that what she threw it in there, and she was smart on this one when she threw it in there. Or I don't need a man that's a dictator, but I need a man that quote unquote she would say lead with love. Okay, however you want to take that notion of how that wording played out. But my thing is, I agree with that. I mean, however you want to look at it, because think about it. No man is trying to be a dictator to somebody. You ain't trying to control her. You ain't trying to do all this to be this person that's ultimate trying to be this villain, this mother lover that doesn't give no type of care and freedom to somebody else because you're not trying to be in that same grip hole as much as anybody else. You still look at it as, hey, look, we're two people that join one together, but we still our own individuals.
But going back to what Jay said, right, and also M3 said this a little bit, like, in some way when she said that, isn't that like manipulation? Because no matter how you how you say it or what you say your needs are, she could say it's not loving, and then you think about how I feel when you say that this way, and I don't like it when you're not thinking about me. A lot of times, what I'm getting at, like a lot of times when I hear that, is like almost a stage to manipulate you.
I don't really believe in manipulation.
Well,
I get what you're saying.
From what
Right?
standpoint?
Nah,
Though? Like,
just hold on. The reason why I say it's not manipulation is because it's so low level what they saying. And it's just like, as guys, we just got to wake up. And it's like, man, when you start listening to them and it gets self-centered, because somebody I was talking to them, they were talking about like, oh, people need to be servant leaders. The whole servant leadership thing. Man, I've been in leadership since 25, and I had to break it down to him. I was like, when y'all say that stuff, like you want the man of the house to be a servant leader, I was like, yeah, that's fine. That sounds good. But it's like, you have to have the right person to be a servant leader. It's like, man, you have to, the people under you have to be in the mindset where they're not trying to take advantage of nothing. It's almost like they got to be a stand-up employee that's like, they're coming on to work on time. They're willing to take on like extra work. They're selfless. So when people say that, like how she was mentioning, oh, they lead with love and they need to do this and this, it's like that they're painting that picture of servant leadership. But it's just like, if you're self-centered, like she was kind of mentioning, it's just like, you can't use servant leadership, because it's like you'll get taken advantage of. You'll get ran all over by your employees and stuff. So sometimes it's the worst type of leadership to actually be under. And like I said, unless you got ideal employees that's like above and you don't have to tell them shit. Yeah, it works in those cases, but selfish people, they'll run all over you. They're going to take advantage and shit. So it's like, nah, you need more of a hybrid authoritative style. Trust me on that.
Yeah, because they'll call.
They'll
leave out. They won't follow through. They'll make promises.
Yeah,
I've seen it when a leader is a servant leader, and they'll burn that person out, and next thing you know, they get a dictatorship, and then the employees be mad, and I'll be looking at them like, "Yeah, this is what you did. Now just drink your milk and deal with it, learn from it, because you had it good."
Yeah. Go ahead, Wally. You was about to.
No. Cause I was gonna just say, like, but see, that's the thing with leadership. If leadership is not really just about like just being the front runner, but you're at service of everybody else, then it's like, okay, then both sides should learn leadership, because women like to keep talking about a man's leadership, but do you recognize a man in his leadership skills?
Yeah.
And then you know what that looks like, and then what toll that takes? Because if you know the toll, what it looks like in the toll, you will respect it way more when a man is actually in leadership. But that's
a good point.
Ain't no genuine out here when we really talk about these things. That's why I'm like, bro, that shit is whack.
No, it's just because, even like the places where I led, I make everybody take, like you said, leadership training. And I got like, I invented like employee training where it's just like, hey, this is how you need to operate, to make sure that the mission is successful. Like, because leaders got to look at stuff holistically. So, I do give training like that. And like I said, typically everybody starts off in like a servant leadership. They feel like they got to be overly nice for everybody. But as people progress, like I said, you kind of end up in the middle where it's just like, okay, they ran all over me. They coming in late. I got to manage their projects. I got to start doing some of their work for them because they taking advantage of me. So you end up like somewhere like on a middle, a little bit over to that, where you just understand like, hey, I got to be fair. Trying to be nice to everybody because they just take advantage of everything. And if I'm just fair, I create an environment where it's fair and everybody has to, be an adult and contribute to this mission. And I'm writing you up and I'm getting you up out of there. So yeah, it's funny when people do mention that, like servant leadership. It's like, that shit terrible. Unless you're the ideal employee, aka the person in a relationship that ain't selfish. And majority of them, you don't qualify for servant leadership because you're gonna come straight from them pockets.
But SJ, afterwards they get some act right when they see that, like, oh, okay, there's limitations. I did take advantage. This is the fruit of what I've done. And then you have to regain.
Yeah, when they 38 with 2 kids and shit. That's what it tend to happen.
But they have to regain that trust of the leader. And like when they see it and they have to earn it, they respect that leader more, and they go ahead and they'll serve. They're like, okay.
Yeah, because I think typically people want the servant leadership style, but it's just like, man, after you get burned, you're just like, oh hell no, I can't do this. And that's what people don't realize. Like a lot of females, it's like, hey, a lot of guys got burned trying to serve a lot of females, and now that's what's happened. People are adapting. So it's just like, you can say that shit all day. Like most people ain't gonna step into it like that where they just serving you, because most guys experience like how that didn't work out. So it's just like, sounds good, but you're not a good employee, aka.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, right? In all seriousness, like this is definitely a good food for thought, because as me trying to get into the field of management, and like again, possibly like if I do get a promotion and and I'm able to train, adults, certain individuals, I know for sure that when I'm going to be dealing with a whole bunch of unruly women, I mean, I haven't used that word in a long time. Yeah, there's like a thin line between like being fair and being like, I guess, again, that term servant leader or whatever. And a lot of times we get trained about like, okay, being a leader is being a great servant or whatever. And I get that. I mean, you want to give people that comfortability that, hey, like, like I'm in it for the best of your interests. But you will have those assholes, right, that will try to run over you.
Facts.
And the good thing is that, like, yeah, I'm kind, but I'm not nice. So at least I could live with myself that if I do offend or if I do make someone upset, it helps me to sleep better at night. So yeah, it's just good to like really kind of keep that in mind for future reference. So
I remember when I managed, there was an HR person, and she told me my job was to know how to serve the company first. And to serve the company, I got to know what benefits the company have for the employees. So if I studied like what exactly I can offer was already there for my employees, I've served my company. So when employees come at me with stuff like I need a day off, I have to give them that, okay, what's my right to say yes or no? What can I do to make things run better? And I came up with like structures to where I just hired relief staff and make sure that relief staff got trained not only on my program and other programs, and make sure we just had this big pool so then people could have taken these days off, but also at the same time to let them know like, hey, you have this allotted time. Just understand when this continues to happen, they are tracking it, and we're going to have another meeting, and we're going to put you in a performance or review. But I like the performance review. I wish companies did a better job, because what it shows for the company, what it showed for me, there are things that I wasn't even teaching them because I didn't know I was supposed to teach them. So that's what it was, accountability on both ends, because I was just starting out management. But I use that tool to like not try to get people fired, but get them to be like better at their job, and for me to know what their job is and not press enough, but also know what exactly the company owes to the employees and what the employees own to the company. Because that's what management is. You do a good enough job, the director is never going to leave, which I find out in my job. But you'll get bonuses though. You'll get bonuses every quarter.
Yeah, it's just like you said. But no, that was definitely a good topic. Yeah, talking about leadership. I know we wanted to dive in more into it, but yeah, when people start saying that servant leadership, I'm like, man, all right, you're not even a person that fits under that model, because man, you have to be ideal in there. Because like I said, I started off in that. The cats was running all over me. I was like, oh hell no! Nah. Like you have to take a tougher stance, man, and that's the sad thing. Because when people start taking advantage, that's when people have to adapt that leadership style. So yeah, people just don't realize it. They just say the term like, oh, I want a servant leader and he should do this and this and this. Like, man, that dude would get ran over by you. You're gonna drain his pockets, you're gonna derail the growth. Fuck that. Like you serve the relationship, and that's what people don't realize. You're supposed, like you said, Stan, you serve the company, you serve the relationship. you grow together, you start, but you know, they're so concerned with like taking that they don't realize that, and that's what happens. That's what causes that burden, and that's when, you know, the guy eventually gets burnt out dealing with people like that. It's like, I can't tolerate it no more. Start mentally checking out. But all right, man, we'll go ahead and jump into the last topic. So the last topic today, we're going to talk a little bit of politics. You know, presidential race happened this week. So my first question to you guys is like, why do you think Kamala lost? And I know earlier, Stan, you was kind of talking about politics. So I'm gonna kind of start off with you. Why do you think it's cold? It's quiet out here in these streets? I know you was
They can't blame black men. Number one.
They're still gonna blame us.
But yeah, they put us with the brown. They like black and brown. I'm like, no, no, don't put us in here. And here's the thing: everybody have the right to vote who they want to vote for. What I did not know, which is scary, is that people can look up if you voted or not.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that shit.
Yeah, not who you voted
Invading
for.
people's privacy and shit.
But no, it's public records. If you voted this.
Oh, okay. So they just know you voted, but they can't get the like specifics, like the candidate.
Yeah. And I was like, what? So the people that did not vote, people are looking at them funny. And like,
yeah, how these people get that much damn time on their hands? That's why I'm like, man, you got all your bills paid? You doing all this like investigative work and shit?
And all I know is, hey, just like y'all got the right to vote, I got the right not to vote.
Yeah, facts, man. I don't see how people get so worked up about other people, how they vote. I'm like, man, like that's your right, man. We live in a democratic society. I don't care that much. I go in there, I vote, I leave it in there. The next day, I don't think the sky's falling out. You know, everything's gonna burn down. I'm like, man, I'm gonna go about my business.
So the sky is falling out. If you
You
look
think so?
on the news, yeah, if you look on the news, there's migrants marching up to the border right now because they're scared of Trump getting in 3 months or 2 months.
Yeah.
If you look on the news, it's on there. Like right now, like they're marching.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at that. But I know, yeah, they come January, it's a wrap.
But you got Trump supporters already going to the border. One thing I say about Trump, that man been building his army for 12 years.
But yeah, I just wanted to show some of the breakdown, man, because I was looking at some of the numbers. I was looking at this article, man. I was definitely interested. So they had the 2020 numbers on there, and then the 2024. So they were showing the breakdown, like as far as like men overall for Democrats. You know, the number was pretty stagnant. I think they just lost 1% for men from Biden, from Harris, from the 2020 to 2024, the recent ones. So women, they had a 3% difference. So, you know, it's like what Stan said. It's like when they're blaming men, it's like for Democrats, it's like, yeah, I actually lost, 3% of women versus the 1% of guys. So, you know, it's like you can't really put it on the guys. And then, you know, same thing when you look at the Republicans for men, you know, they gained 1%. So there was only a 1% difference from 2020 to 2024. So for women, again, they went from 42% at 2020 to 44%. So a 2+2 gain for women. But yeah, when you start getting down to race, this where it got a little tricky. So for Trump, 2020, he had 58% of the white vote. Mm-hmm. And 2024, it actually dropped 3%. So it dropped down to 55%. So he went from 58 to 55%, 3% change. So for Democrats, Biden and Harris, because, you know, they had to split since he was 2020 and she took over in 2024.
Yeah.
So it was like for white, 41%, they jumped up to 43%. So a +2 gain from 2020. So Trump, black, pretty much stayed the same for Republicans, 12% and 12%. So in 2020, it was like 12, and right recently it's 12%. So 0 gain. All right, for Biden, black, for 2020, 87%. In 2024, 86%. But watch the Hispanics where Hispanics and Asians and others. That's where the difference was. So for Trump, Hispanic, percentage was 32% in 2020. It jumped up to 45% in 2024. So a 13% gain. So Biden and Harris, their Hispanic Latino vote was in 2020 65%, dropped down to for 2024 53%. So a negative 12%.
Sheesh.
So Trump for Asian, it was 34% in 2020, and 2024 it was 38% now. So +4 gain. So Biden and Harris in 2020 they had 61%. Then it dropped down to 56%, negative -5%. So for Trump, for other must be
Polynesians and
all that.
The mix
Yeah, miscellaneous folks.
Mm-hmm.
So for 2020 for Republicans, Trump, it was 41%. Then in 2024, it jumped up to 53%, 12% gain. And Biden and Harris, they pretty much 2020, 55%. Then in 2024, 43%. So negative 12. So yeah, I heard people talk about racist and stuff. I'm like, man, it was actually the minorities that they had the biggest jumps. White people were pretty stagnant. Black people were stagnant, but it was like the other groups. And so it's just funny how people are so like off base and stuff. I'm just like, hey man, like, yeah, they break it down even more and stuff down here. So it says like Trump's largest voter gains among Hispanic and Latino men and women. So yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh yeah, youth too. Shit. So like they got the age group. So everybody was thinking the young ones was gonna come out strong and stuff. So 18 through 29, Biden and Harris, 2020, 60%. 2024, they dropped to 55%. So 5% change. Yeah, so 18
45 to 64-year-olds and the 65 plus.
Yeah, so the Democrats definitely, lost the young vote, minorities. They had the education level, but I ain't dig too deep in that. But Stan, you think you said the sky is falling out, man? You think it's gonna be some drama?
Well, they're already marching up to the border because they're trying to get here before Trump gets into office.
Okay, try to get that last minute, but
then I know New York just mentioned that they stopping the programs for migrants, like no more cash aid and whatnot. They're not going to get that federal. They're not going to get that help once Trump come in, so that's not going to happen. And also, like some people are scared of denaturalization that might take place, and so that's what's going on. I mean, like the focus. What I've learned, hopefully other people learn too. The next time you want to present stuff to us, no more fish fries or no more twerking. That's not a rap.
Yeah, it's like, man, what was the one they brought out there, Sexy Red or Cardi B? Like, man, y'all better stop playing.
They had Meg Thee Stallion, Gorilla, Beyonce.
Yeah, see, man,
it was all flops, man.
Let me not talking about the stuff that was important and what was going on, right? Mm-hmm. And also, which was also ironic, right? Like Trump, we got more stuff about Kamala all over the news and less about Trump. And then Trump still pulled in, like, got ahead. And you gotta look at that, right? Because you made it look like a old school MTV BET Awards.
And you said BET Uncut and shit.
Yeah, and it's like, as a fellow Democrat, like, you kind of let people down when you didn't handle the stuff. And like Kamala, like, stop. Nobody's like cleaned their collard greens in no bathroom and bathtub. Like, stop it. You come around saying that you were smoking a dorm, smoking weed and listening to Tupac. I'm like, you're not down to earth. Like, just don't do that no more. We don't want that. And for ministers, learn. Like, people don't want that stuff in their church. Like, people don't care. These politicians only come around and they tell us lies, and that's it. Like, we already see through it. I think now, as a group and a collective, next time we gotta like have like what we really want. And if you're not going to provide it for us, we're not going to vote for you.
What was you about to say, M3? I know you was.
Yeah, man, I was gonna say like a lot. I mean, well, one, right? I would recommend playing like the 2 videos. Like, you know, there was one of the videos that you sent Stan in the chat where and then I think it was grouped up where there was like a sister that was actually defending black men, right? Because she was telling people, hey, before you start attacking and blaming black men, as you guys usually do, okay, look at the statistics and the numbers, because Latino men had the highest voting power to vote Trump into office. Look, and I mean, on the record, I voted for Trump as well too, right? So I'm very happy about that. So
he has the right to vote. Don't look for him, ladies. Don't.
Hey, I wish. Hey! Right now they're big mad, but I wish they would say something. Okay,
Don't you dare dox
him.
Trump. But I gotta have your back. I gotta have your back in 3. Don't you dare dox him. Don't you dare. Especially when you're sleeping in your car. Don't you dare.
but going forward, right? Then it was like a Latina comedian, and you know she was talking about like the Latina, like, you know, well, the Latino community or whatever. So I thought those were like interesting videos, like to really break it down. But overall, Kamala did not really take this campaign seriously. She was goofy as hell. I know, like, even before we started talking about her, we was talking about how some of these women will use word salads, and Kamala Harris is definitely the queen of all word salad with dressing on top. Everything that she says is like, it's so airy that how could like we allow someone like this to help like lead and run our country anyways? Okay, yes, she is black. I'll give her that. But she's Jamaican and Indian, okay? She's not African American. And the part that I felt like I was more offended and turned off by, especially in the Democratic Party, one, you try to get down with the African Americans because you looked at us like she should have just reached out to Latinos. That probably would have been her best bet at this point. But you thought that we was gonna like use our voting power, right? And which in California, we did, you know. Yeah, I'm ashamed of y'all for that, but you know, in California we did, but it still wasn't enough. So you went out there like you try and have whatever, right, Stallion, to twerk like for votes, and then you had Cardi B, which I think somebody purposely sabotaged like her prompting or whatever, right? So you had to have somebody bring up the cell phone. It wasn't real, wasn't authentic. And Cardi B was so nervous, she had to go back to her Dominican like roots or whatever, right? And bring that accent out. So I already knew it was over. Every person, every celebrity that you try to sick after us, it was always a herd of insults, shame, and guilt if we don't vote for a black woman to become president. And to me, like when you start talking down to us, like you're talking street or talking hood, it's like, what will make me want to like vote for you? Shout out to my cousin. She sent me something at the time before she lost or whatever, but she sent me like it was like a message from a video to try to encourage like black men to like vote for her. But the guy was like insulting us and like he was putting us down and calling us all kinds of names. And I'm like, I already know who I'm voting for. You know, I'm voting for somebody, right? You know, that is actually going to take this campaign seriously. So,
but
I'm going to keep it short.
Yeah, man. I think they just, man, because I really don't care about the, you know, I seen people focusing on if she was black or not. I'm like, man, get to the policy stuff. But I think Bernie Sanders is on to it. I think you sent this. I'll try to find the video, man. Y'all sent a lot. So I'll try to dig it up. But you know, he just said, man, they wasn't talking to the working class. And I think that was the message that everybody said, man, whether it was like all the groups that we went over that jumped. It's just like, man, you got to talk to the working class people. I think that's where they kind of messed up. So they got to get back to that messaging. So yeah, I think Bernie Sanders was like spot on. Like, hey, man, like, yeah, I ain't talking to him no more. Shout out to my boy Trigger Mike over here. I see your comment. But
there's a reason why they ain't talking to the working class. They want to destroy them.
They want it.
No, I just think sometimes, man, people feel like it's like, you know, they're talking to, you know, not to be mean, like the ultra, you know, like the welfare they're pitching at all the time. And it's just like, man, you got to find a way to put money back in people's pockets. The people that's like
actually working,
you know, working and struggling and stuff, man. That's the group that's like damn near, you know, pretty much keeping America together. And it's just like,
that's
you
the
know,
whole point.
Yeah.
Wait, SJ, before
thing I can't stand about. Go ahead.
Sorry. Before you click that video, can you click the picture that Stan sent us? It's like the list. It's like right above you. Things that would not work for the Democrats in 2028. Okay. 1, calling black people stupid. Roland Martin. Plies. Number 2. Number 3, D.L. Hughley. 4, Ricky Smiley. The next one is Angela Ray, Luke, Steve Harvey. Celebrities, just have them sing a nice ballad next time. Okay. Ignoring grassroots. Shields attack. Am I saying this right? Shields attacking us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Obama and Michelle finger wagging at us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Obama did kind of like, you know, lost me on that part. Like when he kind of got the black men in the locker room together and thought he was going to be a change of it. But I digress. Calling us Pookies. Hey, I mean, you can call me Pookie at any time. But anyways, Van Jones crying.
He's always crying.
There's nothing new about that. Not being serious about Oh yeah.
Reparation.
You know we gotta get our J's right, so you gotta be serious about that. The Black agenda, foreign affairs, and immigration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the immigration was definitely like a big key factor as well too, especially when you let the majority in there anyways to begin with, and now look what they did. They turn on you. Black and brown correlation. There's no such thing. And then what else with a question mark?
All right, let me get to that video real quick.
Oh, there you go. And the second one just came.
All right, I'll go ahead and play it.
It tells the story of what happened during this election. Look at this. This is coming from NBC News. I want you to look down there at Latino men. 54% for Donald Trump. Now, this is following that rally in Madison Square Garden. But also, look at black men. 78% went for Kamala Harris, but 20% for Donald Trump. Usually Republicans score in the single digits. And finally, of course, white women, 52% for Donald Trump, and then you have 47% for Kamala Harris. Now, Donald Trump, according to Pew, received 53% of the vote from white women in 2020. So basically, he didn't lose hardly any white women, despite the Dobbs decision overturning Roe.
Shout out to me for making that 20%. Now the second one.
Let me tell y'all what we not gonna do. What we not gonna do is come at these black men, especially if you're not a black woman. Black men are more locked in with us than any other race of people. White men ain't had their women back. Latino men didn't have their women back. Hell, truth be told, they didn't have each other back. And neither did they. We can't beat black men up because they the only ones who stood up when the rest of y'all sat down. And the overall number for black folks voting Republican was 12%, just like it was in 2020. But while y'all playing the blame game, you're not going to blame our men. Let me tell you who you can blame. You see this right here? Blame them. You see this right here? Blame them. But them right there, don't do it. I'm a black woman with a black father who voted for his black daughters. I got black uncles who voted for their black daughters and nieces. I don't know not one black Republican. That 20%, we don't know. And truth be told, they're probably immigrants, not black people who are the descendants of slaves. So slow down on that talk about black men.
I ain't no immigrant, but hey. Shouts to her
Shout out to
anyway.
M3 from being from Nigeria. Uganda.
Ooh, yeah,
Nah, man, I hate it's like, man, people just need to pause, look at the data, man, switch your message, man. Stop beating everybody else up. This is like, man, you lost, man. Sometimes you just gotta accept the loss and pivot, man. That's what winners do, man. You stop making excuses and you pivot.
But here's something that's I haven't seen this in a long time, is that you also, like, this is the first time you got a Republican president. The House and the Senate is Republican, so Democrats, they're all lost. Like, they have.
Nah, it happened in the past, I'll say, election cycles. Like I think they won, but yeah, I mean they won handily this time. It was
Yes, and then you
it
look
wasn't
at
close.
might be 2 more judges that retired. Trump already replaced 3 of them. He has a chance to go ahead and add 2 more, so that's like 5.
Nah,
Yeah.
I think the Democrats they're gonna sit on them seats. they ain't retired. They'll sit for 4 years. Nah, because that's what was her name? The super old one. She
yes.
She should have retired out of the Democrats, but she held on. But yeah, she passed. But the rest of them are pretty young. I think the only ones that are older are the Clarence Thomas and Leto. I forget. So they're up there. So they'll probably retire under him, so he could replace those seats, like you said.
Yeah, but I know, like, there was on TikTok, I was able to copy it and download it. Somebody put up, like, I don't want to see any of you people, I ain't gonna say what race it was, doing any dystopia movies or books that you've caused, and you fall in love with the enemy, it will get burned. I was like, oh crap. People are really that mad.
Yeah, I'm glad this election cycle over. People could calm down. I don't think it's gonna be. I think people are gonna calm down, man, and it's gonna get back to normal.
One thing that I gotta share real quick that was strange, right? For us, I didn't know that we had local ballots that was going. There was one that was important. There was 2. There was one where if you get locked up in prison that you have to work. And then there's a salary and it goes back to community. And then another one, which was a ballot for, like, if you steal anything under $950, it's now a felony. So you're going to go to jail. So everybody's doing the petty crime, going to the stores. I didn't know that was on the ballot. So there was a lot more coverage on national stuff, but there weren't any coverage on local stuff.
Yeah, because I saw that too. You said you talking about they was trying to make a vote at anything under 900. Well,
50.
Yeah, because because what's going on, right? A lot of these stores are getting hit, and a lot of people are really taking advantage of that system, because if you're not stealing anything over $900, you could go shop theft to, like, Walmart, to Target. You could literally, even in front of a police officer or so, you could literally walk out. If there's a TV, right, that is worth, like, let's say the TV behind me, right? If that TV is worth $899, okay, like, literally, somebody could just go ahead, pick that TV up, walk out with it, and there's nothing you could do about it. But if it's $900 and plus, oh yeah, then you'll go to jail. So,
but if the employees stop that person, they get fired because you're not supposed to do it. They put policies in place.
Well, they also go to jail themselves.
Yeah.
So,
but that passed. That ballot passed. So now by people that were stealing for the past years, you're gonna catch a felony and go to jail. Ain't gonna work while you're at jail. And so, like, ballots like that we didn't know that was on the form, and it was so strange when they say, well, because we all have digital TVs, like, channels, and they're like, well, for more coverage on this, we're not going to cover the local stuff, but you could go ahead and read on our website. Nobody reads. But today, when we're done with the election, right, you're now coming in, we have the Sunflower Festival. And I'm just like, you couldn't cover California. But you gonna cover the Sunflower Festival?
But all right, y'all, let's go ahead. Let's start shutting it down and let's go around, get the parting words and stuff. So we'll start with you, Stan.
Whew. Lord, no co-parenting, no co-parenting. Look, what was the first story we had? Walk me through it.
Chad Ochocinco simping.
Chad, I'm disappointed. Like, yo, man, like, bad enough you was already a what I call him, like a low life for like dating somebody who's already married, but you guys got a child together and you just going to Houston, Texas for you got 2-year-old, man. You just gotta stay around and stay home and stop traveling. You're not a 20-year-old athlete. You're a father of 8 children, and including your stepkids. That's like you're a father of 11. So you gotta stop thinking about stop thinking about yourself and start thinking about everybody else, and just have that date. Plan that date for the wedding. That's why she tripping, and just stop playing yourself. The second one, ladies, we are tired of y'all standards and dating. And you know what? I'm just the arc has closed. The gates have lifted. The arc has closed, and I'm got popcorn. I'm just watching y'all, and that's where I'm at. I'm just watching all of y'all. And y'all keep on talking about this dating stuff, and I'm just like, none of y'all mean what y'all gonna say, and y'all gonna live with fantasy anyway, and men just gonna have reality, and that's it. So I'm just gonna wait for my robot wife to come around and help me, or my white one, or my Asian one. And
all right, them 3. Oh, go ahead.
The last one, look. One thing I want people to know: vote is important. Know your civic. Know about what's going on locally. Latinos, you know what? They're gonna come for us. And when stuff hits the news and people are trying to come to this country, they gonna let you go out. Don't travel. I'm gonna say that much. Ain't that right, Wally? Don't travel. Not with Trump. He gonna look. Some of y'all ain't getting naturalized. Y'all been in this country for 40 years with your residential card and green card, thinking y'all gonna live the best life and being a citizen of 2 places.
he said you better not leave this country.
Don't leave this country. You know what Trump did? Trump, that first time, a lot of people couldn't even come back. And that work visa, if y'all got married to an American and you ain't got no kids, dear John, life goes on. You got deported. Just stay strong and she'll go on.
Hey, Wyatt, that's why you had your camera off for a minute, though? You was trying to duck and dodge, huh? I feel you, though.
No.
Dodge what?
No, duck and dodge. I'm talking about the immigration. Because in Florida, they did massive deportation when Trump was
I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. He's Americanized.
Okay, I just want to make sure, like, you guys are solid, man. I don't want to see you Stan and Wally, like, overseas and can't get back, right? I mean, I know y'all will be living your best lives, but
But all right, them 3.
Yeah.
Part of words.
Well, one, like, man, you need to be the best version of you. Be the best mind reader. Okay. The other thing too is, like, don't be like if you're well to do as a man, and I hate trying to put like financial stuff to it, but no, you gotta be like a man that's like of valor, a man of status. You don't have to like subjugate yourself right to someone who don't want you. You know what I mean? If this person is being petty, why are you putting yourself in a toxic environment where it's like you're showing lower of class than what you are meant to be? So that's the other thing I want to put out there. Ladies, I know you guys are upset, and you guys have a right to be upset. Because Trump's president. But look, you guys will get over it. All the other people who's crying, you guys will get over it. And, it shows that voting is definitely important. You want to, even if it's like that 1%, you want to be, you want to feel like you did make the change and you did put the time and effort into making sure you want to get things done. And I think at this point, what it shows is that, like, you know, people in America are tired of just the fairy tale like lies and broken promises from the Democratic Party, and they want to see some change going on. So regardless of this, this nonsense about Trump being racist or Trump this or Trump that, I mean, look, you gotta be the person that you gotta know what you really want for yourself and the well-being for your country. So I don't really care too much about politics like this, but I would definitely say in this case with Trump versus Harris, this definitely was an entertaining one indeed, more so from the Democratic side of things. So yeah, but I know y'all mad, ladies, but yeah, I'm the 20% that voted for Trump. So
they gonna whoop your ass. But all right, Wally, parting words.
So my parting words is this: I didn't vote. You didn't. I didn't vote.
Don't y'all come for Wally.
I didn't vote. I don't
He has
care.
that right.
I didn't vote. But I will tell you one thing though. I may have not voted physically, but I damn sure voted mentally. And I damn sure voted for the guy that won. Look. I'm gonna just call it for what it is. Most of y'all were out here crying because they're trying to take your rights. That woman in that little clip was talking about, see, you can't blame the black men. They was fighting for our rights. Look here, you want to know how y'all fight for y'all rights? It's called simple. Stop opening your dang legs to these Negroes that you ain't trying to marry, let alone get in a relationship with. And put some protection on you. There you go. It's just that damn simple. You have your life back. Thank you very much.
Sophisticated, I'd like to make a request. Please don't bring this non-voter back into the live stream again. I'll mess with you.
But no, my quick recap, man.
I was done.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
But yeah, y'all do that. As far as for the first section of the video, Chad, you just stupid. But stupid does what stupid do. Hey, I'm gonna let you sit on that one. And then as far as what was the second one that we did? That was the reaction to, like, what was the second reaction?
Oh, that top tier man.
Yeah,
the top tier man. Look. Oh man, what can I say about that one, bro? What can I say? Honestly, I can say this, man. Man, just look. That I'm gonna just leave that alone. That's self-explanatory. I ain't gonna touch that.
Yeah, first topic, man. I know, man, we have our egos, man, but if you mess with a married woman, you kind of signaling to yourself, man, you don't got confidence. Because it's like there's too many females out here, man. We ain't got to mess with no married woman. And if she does leave her whole family set up, she's typically, man, she's gonna end up doing it in some form and fashion to you, man. So don't lie to yourself. Leave that shit alone, man. Like Chad Ochocinco, man, expand your view of women, because it seems like you keep going to the same prototype of crazy chick. So, man, you gotta, unless you're toxic your damn self, man, you gotta stop messing with them.
I mean, but look what that tells you. I mean, that's why I say you give no comeuppance to this mofo.
Oh, I agree.
Look, neither he knew or if he didn't know. I mean, if he didn't know, that's one thing. But even
then, because she was on TV. That's what I'm saying. She was on what was it, Housewives or one of them?
Tampa,
she was up front with him.
Like Tampa Real Estate. It was like it's a reality show.
But I'm saying even Evelyn, she's been on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's seen. That's what I'm saying. He's got a pattern now. So yeah, he just targets. He goes strictly off of looks. He don't give a damn if they crazy or not. He's like Safari, man. Safari Part 2 and shit.
Oh man.
And then as far as like the top tier, man, Cooley is like, man, you got to add the character elements. But as far as the lady that was speaking, yeah, servant leadership is for suckers. So unless you got a woman that like understands serving back, like Wally was breaking down, it's like, man, don't even let them fool you into that shit. Because what she was describing was self-centered. She ain't care about the relationship. It was all about her. So yeah, anytime they try to mention that stuff where it's just self-centered based, man, walk away. That ain't how a relationship's supposed to be, you know. Then for the presidential race, man, I'm not one of them people that bash candidates, because at the end of the day, man, I think anybody that go out there and run, you better than me, man, because I couldn't do it. Got too many skeletons in the closet, you know. So it's just like, you know, half the country ain't gonna like you. That's pretty much how this stuff goes. So, man, it's a tough job. So shout out to them for running. Shout out to Donald Trump for winning, man, and shout out to Kamala, man. I know people talk a lot of shit, but she got out there and ran, and you just lost, man. But that's it for me, man, and us. Keep tuning in